The Weekend Breakfast Show, 7am till 10am, Saturday and Sunday, with DJ Foz on Dorset's Riviera Radio.
Five, four, three, 2, 1.
And it's live.
This is Leicester Till I Die TV. Watch and subscribe on YouTube and listen on your podcast platform.
Good evening, everybody. How the devil are we? Well, I hope enjoying the fact that, hey, Leicester can't lose this weekend. We still get fucking players injured, though. Hate the Welsh. Hate the Welsh. Look, guys, you're going to be mentioning the 71 million loss in that's been announced today. All I'll say is we're not talking about that tonight. Tonight we're looking to the future. We're looking to the future. As you can tell, Reece, I mean, he's young. He's the future. Wayne, he's old. He's just past it. I kind of sit in the middle somewhere between the pair of them. Hey, guys, how are you doing?
Oh, good, mate. How are you?
Not so bad, not too bad at all. You looking forward to Turkey, Wayne?
I am, mate. It's nice to get away, isn't it?
It is. He's going there to have his bum done, aren't you?
Well, you can't have a big enough booty these days, Chris.
You can't. It's all about the booty, isn't it? You know, unless you're Katie Price. Honestly, her boobs go up and down more often than bloody bride's knickers on the wedding night. Hello, everybody. And Doug is in Liverpool. Good evening, Doug. How the devil are you? Look, we know whatever happens this season, we're going to be losing a lot of players come the end of it. I won't say good, and I won't say experienced. I'll just say old. But we are going to be losing quite a few. So we probably won't have any money to bring any newbies in. So we are going to be looking at the youngsters that are coming through. Although a lot of them aren't so sort of young now, if you like. They're getting on a bit by footballing standards. But a lot of us have also said that they should have been starting this season. You know, that we've got players that just aren't absolutely... You know, well, we haven't got a manager that's got any balls to actually start playing these players. So what we're going to do over a few shows is look at the youngsters. Now, the ones we're looking at tonight, as you can see, there are our loanees, those that are out on loan, and whether the two guys below me here can think that they can make it at the club and how they are getting on at the moment. And you know, are we looking at a Harvey Barnes, or are we looking at a Nathan Apuko? We will find out by the end of the show. So let's make a start. Get on to the first one, and this is just the way they came up on the list. I know there's one or two. I only went for those that I'd actually heard of. I've not been looking at sort of obviously the El Canuses or the Fays or anything like that. I'm hoping they're not just on loan. I'm hoping they're going. But let's start with the first one, which is, I suppose, an obvious one to start with. and that's Sammy Baybrook, who's been at Chesterfield and Newport County. He's 22. And look, the positions that I'm putting up here are what's up on transfer, what they put up on transfer market. So don't have a go at me if you don't agree with where it says they should play. Reece, start us off. Look, he went to Newport, who aren't doing very well. Let's be honest with you; they look like they could be dropping out of the bottom tier into the conference, whatever they call it these days. He came back in January, and we all thought, well, I did. Wow, yes, he could get a chance now. No, he was sent straight back out to Chesterfield, who are going for promotion. What do you think about this guy?
Well, he's been very unfortunate. He suffered a nasty injury, a nasty knee injury, an ACL injury. So he had the talent there. I've always said he was a very good, talented footballer. He reminds me a bit of kind of like a Sergio Busquets type of player, where he just dictates the play. He doesn't do a lot of bombing forward or anything like that. He looks up, picks out a pass, and every team needs one nowadays in the modern day of football. So I thought he had that in him, and I thought he was just about to break through. But then, unfortunately, him and Will Alves did his ACL at the same, and it's knocked him back a bit. I'm really happy with his progression at these two clubs. I mean, Newport County fans absolutely loved him, and he scored a goal from the halfway line as well. So and it was that shows the quality that he's got. So he's got it in there, and then he's made another step up to Chesterfield, where they're pushing for promotion. So might have been a good idea to keep him out on loan rather than bring him back after a good spell at Newport. So then hopefully he can keep making his progression.
Do you think, though, Wayne, that getting him back from a team that's struggling and putting him into a team that's going for promotion is was better for him? I mean, he kind of wanted to progress. He didn't want to come back. He wanted to go out again, didn't he?
Yeah, he did, and it's interesting. The experiment with Tom in the League Two, playing all the kids. He's got Sammy Braybrook because he's reduced strength number 8, sitting in front of the defence, and he's playing a lot of minutes. Braybrook he's playing regularly, mostly 90 minutes. And what was interesting, he's got 2 yellow cards in the last 3 games. I'm thinking, good lad, Sammy Braybrook. I really like him. As Reece said, it's such a fine line whether you make it in the professional game. And him and Alves, I mean, what a gutter for them 2 lads, because we were all raving. We thought they were literally going to progress into the first team straight off. So
a lot of us still think they should have done. They'd be better than the shite that we're putting out at the moment.
Well, that's the interesting thing, isn't it? That is the interesting thing. And like Chesterfield, I think if he'd have stayed at Newport, he would have stuttered. In Chesterfield, he's just outside the playoffs, and he's playing regular. Now, whether he can then make the step up, it's like Vardiene, comes from non-league. Although he made the step up, worried about it. Pearson and the lads had to talk him round because he didn't think he could do it. And then he went on. And so some people can make that natural, like Ipswich, up through the divisions, and Wrexham's. Sometimes you can go up through the divisions and do really well.
Yeah.
I mean, you do need to be given the chance to do that. You need to be given the chance to do that.
Yeah, agreed.
Newport County are actually about the bottom 2 now. So they're actually, I'm sure Nathan Apuku's goals are helping them achieve that. Not. And Chesterfield have actually dropped away. They're actually not even in the playoffs anymore. They're down to 8th. But I'm looking here, he's played 31 appearances out of a possible 32. So like you say, he's playing regularly. 2 goals and 3 assists. I mean, it annoys me, but look, and I know people are going to say, well, look, it's League Two, etc., etc. Well, we're in the Championship, it's a tougher league. Could they, Reece, and all right, this is the first player, but could they be literally any worse than what we've got at the moment?
I don't think so, no. Would he have the quality? I think he's got the quality. Has he got that nous about him? And as Wayne was saying pre-show, that he's been picking up a few yellow cards, so he is willing to get stuck in there by the sounds of it. So in terms of quality, ability on the ball, I've got no qualms about the lad. I think he's really good on the ball, and in terms of the role that we need, I think he'd be superb in League One next season, or even in the Championship. I do think he can make that step up. But I think with him being a local lad as well, I think he would give that extra 10%, and like a Harry Winks or somebody like of that caliber. But no, I don't see any reason why he couldn't step up. Yeah, he may get bullied a few times, but I think he's got the arrogance about him to say, right, I'm going to stand up now and make myself counted for. So yeah, I have to agree with you there, Chris.
Okay, so the question I'm going to ask after each of these is, do you play them next year? And it's a case of yes or no, whichever division we're in. My worry with this is obviously that unless we sell Winks, we've got in front of the season. I think we will probably sell Winks, but would you play this guy next season, Wayne?
Well, interesting, as Craig says, it would be good in League One. And I do, I think he'd breeze it in League One. And I think he could be a good backup stroke, developing into a main first teamer next season. Yeah, I do. We've got to give him a go. I'm
going to say, 22 years old, we're still going to be loaning him out we would at Leicester, 35, or he's not quite ready. Like I always quote, Wayne Rooney, if he was at Leicester, still wouldn't have broken into the team yet. Do you know what I mean? So you're a yes. Reece, would you have him in your squad? Not saying necessarily as a starter, but would you have him in your squad as an option?
In both leagues, yeah, 100%. I think he's good enough for the. I think he's good enough for the Championship. I think he's got the quality to do it. I think his range of passing is outstanding. Long ball, short passes, through the lines passes. I think he's got it all, the lad. He just needs to get back to full match fitness, and I think this season's been good for him to play a lot of games, get his full strength back, and then push on next season. I think he's more than good enough to play in both leagues.
And to be honest with you, you can't keep giving these people we'll give you a year here, now we'll send you out on loan. If we stay up, on loan to a League One, chuck the baby into the swimming pool and it'll float. You know what I mean? Sometimes you just got to do that.
With him, I understand why we sent him out on loan, because he had a nasty injury and he needed to play full 90 minutes every week. He weren't going to do that with us. He just wasn't. So This is the season where he's still got the quality, has he still got the potential? And I believe that he's shown more. I think he's shown more than enough to say he has got the potential still. So I think it's been a good loan for the club in recent years.
He still looks like if somebody runs past him and farts, he'd fall over. But bless him, he'll probably still look like that when he's 70.
Tom loves him. When you said that, Reece, Tom's good. He's been really ill, hasn't he, Tom? Get better soon, Tom. But Tom's a good. Yeah, go on, Reece. We want him in.
Can I just say, by the way, Wayne, that what Tom does isn't real. It's Football Manager.
I'm not into computer games, Chris, but I end up being fascinated by that.
Oh no, I'm not great. It's fascinating, but how many players? And I used to do it. You'd buy because you think, they look good, and when you see them in real life, they're awful. Right, Henry Cartwright, 21 from Falkirk, another defensive stroke central midfielder. So we've got him, and then obviously we've also got Braybook as well. It's both in the same roles. Do you think keeping both, because we've still got Skip for a few years? I hope we don't sell Skip, because I think he could be the captain and the leader going forward. But Wayne, how's this guy doing? He's up in Scotland.
Yeah, his minutes are not that good really for Falkirk. I mean, look, his last 10 games, 78 minutes, 16 minutes, 0 minutes, 26 minutes, 76, 26, 16, 31, 21 minutes and 8. He's probably got an average score.
He's going through his whole season here.
Well, that's not. I mean, when you compare that to Braybook, who's getting games week in week, and Braybook's an integral part of it, and he seems more like a fringe player.
Yeah.
And you got to remember that the teams, apart from the top 2, 3, 4, the standard does drop significantly there. So that's if he's not getting the minutes in the Scottish Prem, then you know. But then again, Braybrook wasn't, was he? Braybrook had a horrible time up in Scotland.
Are they in the Prem?
Yeah.
They are,
Oh, they are.
Yeah, they are. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I just think is compared to Braybrook's more like cut and ready to go. He said he likes to play long balls. He loves to tackle, but he does say, because if you go on like who scored, it goes the positives and negatives, and it's got like commits fouls often. Yeah. So I'd say it's very different to Braybrook's trajectory, really.
I mean, when you send these players out on loan, you send them out, wanting them to play and giving them the game time. That's the whole idea of sending them out, unless, of course, they get injured. I mean, I'm sure that's what Chelsea are thinking about Dejan Richards. All the minutes he's getting at Leicester. But, sorry, that's just a personal dig there. For you, Reece, this guy?
I'm going to disagree slightly with Wayne. On the Scottish League, I actually think it's a quality and step up. I think it's a bit of a quality and step up. I do, because I look at the teams in Scotland: Celtic, Rangers, Hearts. I think they're all solid Championship players. I don't think we give the Scottish League enough credit for me, because there are some really good teams in there. But I get where he's coming from, and like you've just said, Braybrook even struggled in that league. I think he struggled a bit physically wise, but he's a bit more better this season. This guy's a bit more defensive, more Wilfred Ndidi type of player, willing to get more stuck in, nowhere near got the qualities of a Braybrook, and with those line breaking passes and long balls and stuff. But I like him. He's robust, he's big, he's tall, he's willing to get stuck in, and I think this team is crying out for a player like that, to be honest with you. So I won't rule him out, but at the age of 21 and Braybrook 22, they should be pushing more towards the first team now. That's my only concern. But I like
I mean, we say, Reece, don't we? I mean, you made the point about Scotland, and I'm not a lover, of the Scottish leagues. I don't think they're particularly a good standard. But if we're going to send somebody out to League One, sending them out to Scotland is probably just the equivalent of that, if you like, and possibly a little bit higher.
Yeah. I get where you're coming from, but I do. Oh, sorry, Wayne. Go on.
No, so I'd say higher. Although I did say that with the Scottish League, it is high. It is Championship. That's why they get knocked out of Europe really early, because when they come across that real sort of quality opposition. But do you know what's interesting with all these loans and, Braybrook hated up in Scotland. I mean, he must have been freezing his tits off on that bench through the winter up in Scotland. It must have been a miserable time. And he must have been thinking, him and his family, what's happened to my career? Because it's short-lived. You get the injuries and some people don't come back. But it also depends what the manager's like. The manager might just not like you. You might just not fit in. So it's not, sometimes if they go somewhere and it doesn't work out, it's not a particular reflection on those players or the qualities. It might just be that somebody slightly better in that position, or that
certain players suit certain leagues. Like certain players suit, like there's loads of world-class players that weren't good enough for English football, but they were fantastic in La Liga, French league, or Bundesliga. There's just certain people and certain types to different types of leagues. Really,
Daka was brilliant in Austria.
Exactly.
you Google what I often Google what English league does Austrian. That one is very low.
Yeah. Okay, so for Cartwright then, Reece, you first this time. Would you keep him?
League One, yes. Championship, no. One more loan if we're in the Championship. But I would keep him if we're in League One.
Wayne?
Reece is kind of changing. It does depend. Like I was saying, if Jordan James is going, then a lot of it depends on the backdrop of what squad we're keeping, doesn't it? But I'd say definitely League One. Potential squad play. Yeah, but then again, if you got it, no, we haven't got spaces for the under-21s, have we? They are like extra spaces, I think. So.
Yeah. Well, this is it. I mean, do we need to keep these sort of players as squad players? We know what Seagrave's like for getting injured. It's like I say, it's run by Dr. Death there. But so, our players, not as bad as what I could have said, our players, we do need that squad. So what would you do with him, Wayne?
Yeah, I'd keep him in potentially. Yeah, it's also you've got to think of the player as well because they've got the wants and wishes, and they might say, "Look, I just want."
We're not worried about them, and we're making the decisions tonight.
I'd say League One, yes, maybe not in the Championship. I agree with Reece on that. Yeah.
He's 21. At what point, though, Reece, do we decide that these players, are going to be good enough or old enough to actually play if we stay in the Championship?
Well, in the modern game now, I would say that I have a rule. If you're not in the first team by the age of 21, 22, you're probably not going to make it at that level, really. But I'd say if we're in League One, we have to push him in now. If not, sell him. But if we're in the Championship, then I would look to say, right, you've got one more loan. This is your make or break. If you do really good here, then you will be in the squad next season.
Mm.
I think there has to be a certain cut-off point where you go, right, come on now. You should be breaking in.
In that case, this is doomsday summer for a lot of these players then. Right, Wayne, let's go to you first for this one. 21-year-old, as it happens, Tom Wilson-Brown. He's at Swindon Town. He's a centre-back. He has played 19 games out of a possible 39. That's 41%, 35% of minutes played. No goal participations or assists at all. But he is a centre-back. And he can also play left-back. My God, why did we let this guy go out?
I'd hoped Tom Wilson-Brown. I thought he was a really good young player. And he's strong on aerial duels, passing and tackling. Good at passing. Does like the odd foul a little bit. Got a couple of yellows in the last 10. But I think he's a tidy footballer, to be honest, Chris. And some of these players, you kind of, when you hear they're on loan or every now and again you check up on them, you're thinking, well, a lot of these players, it's like they say, not many make it, really. Mm. And I thought he was going to make it, to be honest, Tom Wilson-Brown.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's 21 years old. So, one of the English athletes, she had a big break from athletics and just won a gold, hasn't she? She completely, and she's come back. So like footballers, like Vardy, just because you go back and play for your local small town or something isn't the end of your career.
No.
But I'd say not.
Really. Not in either.
In League One, yes.
Okay. Oh, so no and yes. Reece, he can play either the two centre-back positions. He can play at left-back, and he's left-footed. We should wrap him up in bubble wrap and never let him out, shouldn't we?
I completely agree, Chris. I think this young lad is exactly what this club is crying out for. When was the last time we had a good left-footed centre-half at this club?
Still will.
Centre-half even.
Oh, centre-half. Sorry,
centre-half. Mate. I cannot remember the last time we had a good left-footed centre-half. Ian Holloway loves this kid, and I've got a quote here. If you look at Tom Wilson-Brown, I'm not sure there's a better centre-half in any academy anywhere, in my honest opinion, with the potential that he's got and the potential people that might have watching him as well. But it's all about learning and gaining confidence. And he's done so well to play so many games already. And that's Ian Holloway, a very experienced, knows his stuff manager that's been round the block and done it. So that's some big praise on a young lad like him. So I would, in both leagues, I would push this guy through 100%. We are crying out for a left-footed centre-half. And if a very good, experienced manager like Ian Holloway is saying all that nice stuff about him, let's take his word for it. Let's get this kid playing.
Yeah. The interesting thing, though, is, Wayne, is these are the guys that we could be relying on, but these are also the guys that other clubs are going to want to buy.
That's the thing, and them and their support group will be deciding. It's a three-way thing, isn't it? You got the clubs that want them, because all clubs want them, don't they? It's like Chowdhury, Sheffield United wanted Chowdhury, Oxford wanted to keep Ben Nelson. But is that a thing? Like, can you see us playing a back three? So will you not will you need a left-footed centre half? But you got Nelson and a Coley. You got what's going to happen with Suter coming back? I mean, will he ever be back?
Well,
Suter.
there we go.
So that's the caveat on. You think, okay, you got 25 players in a squad.
Mm.
Who takes those places? It's difficult.
It is.
But I'd say, I think he's worth a go. Actually, I think he will.
No. I'll put you down as a yes for League One and a no. You can't be changing.
Go on, then I'll stick with that. I'll stick with that.
No, it's opinions, isn't it? And the thing is, even I think if we play 4 to back, it's still good to have a left-footed player on that left-hand side.
I'd rather have him than Vestergaard. Pure and simple.
Oh, don't you be knocking Vestergaard. Don't you
any
be doing
people like we want 2 players, 27 or 28, and that's it.
Yes. Well, yeah, fair point. Reece, again, another guy that we're thinking, could we have done with him this season? Bit younger, 20 years old. Jaden Joseph. He's out at Tranmere Rovers at the moment. His main position is a right back, but he can apparently play right and left midfield. What I like about a lot of these players is that they are multi-positional. It's like I thought I was reading the Kama Sutra when I was doing this earlier because so many positions coming up. But look, he's made 23 out of 36 appearances. He scored a goal and got 2 assists, which for a right back isn't bad.
Yeah, I like him. I think he's like our Andy King was absolutely raving about him in pre-season, saying about how he can play multiple positions, and I think every club needs one. Very versatile, very skillful, very underrated, skillful player in terms of ball retention and his passing ability, and he's got a good engine on him as well. So I like the look of this kid. I would personally have him one more loan at League One, make that step up, and then push him in. I think he's got all the quality to be a very, very good player.
So you wouldn't have him in either. He'd go out for another loan wherever we are.
Well, to be fair, I did say League One. If we're in League One, I would push him in.
Okay.
But Championship, no. One more loan if you're in the Championship.
Yeah. Was he not, Wayne, in the team when Kingy was doing the pre-season?
Yeah, as Reece said, he had a brilliant game. Did he score 2 goals in the game? I'm sure.
No, that was Louis Page. Louis Page.
Right. Yeah, I think Jaden Jones got the last one, didn't he? I think he might have got the last one in there. He's really tight. I like him. I really like him. If you played football and you look at other people play football in the tide air, you think it's like Braybrook. I looked at him and thought, bloody hell, looks like a Luka Modric. He does. But Jaden Joseph, I really like him. He's good on the ball, looks after the ball. He's playing regularly. And I do think you can step up 2 divisions. If you're playing regularly in League Two, I do think you can probably step up. So I'm dead happy for him. And hopefully this is the stepping board. He can get back into the team. And I think he's a versatile squad player as well.
Proofs in the pudding. Sorry, Chris.
Okay.
Proofs in the pudding. Jeremy Monga went from the under 18s or under 23s to the Premier League. You can do it. If you've got the talent and the skill and the arrogance and the nous about you, you can play in any league. Simple.
That is
don't you think? Sorry, mate. Don't you think that under someone like Rowett, as opposed to like Rude with our awful scoring record, and then the last manager with our woeful defence, don't you think under someone like Rowett, a lot of these players would fare better with a manager like Rowett than?
I'm not sure about Monga because he seems a very maverick type of player. He's like the Mahrez. He don't really do a lot of the run, but he has those magic moments. And I think every club needs one, like a Gaza, a Mahrez. Give the ball to him over the halfway line and go and work your magic sort of thing. So with Monga, I'm not sure. But players like Jaden Joseph, Henry Cartwright and Sammy Braybrooke, I think 100% could benefit from a Gary Rowett type of manager. But it just depends on their personality sort of thing. But Mongo, I'm not sure. I think Mongo wants that playing forward quickly, sort of young manager type of manager.
For me, with Mongo, and it's quite right what you're saying about, well, you've got to have a manager that's prepared to play a maverick player, because, how many caps did Len Hoddle end up getting for England? Probably not as many as he deserved, and for me, like you say, you don't put him out on the wing, you put him in the centre and say to him, just go where you want, and say to his teammates, well, if he comes into your position, you move into where he's just vacated, and you let him go and just be himself. So are you keeping him, or what are you doing with him, Wayne?
Keeping him
for both leagues?
Yeah, I think so. I think so. I think he's got everything he needs. It's just
Yeah, I mean, I say for me, having him in the squad, he's covering 3 positions if we need him to, for any injuries or suspensions. Right, this is going to be one of my favourite youngsters, and again, I wish he'd stayed, but injuries have blighted his career. Will Alves, still only 20. He's out at Huddersfield Town, who are 1 division below us, or might not be next season. Now, he's an attacking midfielder, but he can also play left and right wing. What pisses me off, Reese, is that whenever we've got a player like this, we always seem to just put them out on the wing. Oh, yeah, they can play on the wing, therefore they've got to go on the fucking wing. Why can we never square, as I'm always saying, square pegs, square holes? But your thoughts on Will Alves? Surely at some point he's got to, I mean, he's only 20 still, that's the thing, but he seems to have been around for ages.
Well, just quickly on what you just said there, Chris, about putting players on the wing, I think that just shows how cowardly this club is when promoting youngsters. I'm just going to say it as it is. I think the club have got it completely wrong with these type of players. He's another maverick sort of player. When he first came through, and I'm going to say this, I would put him in terms of talent levels alongside Jeremy Mongo. He was fantastic. The skill, the athleticism, both feet, the finishing, the dribbling, the passing, he had everything. And I thought, wow, this kid is going to be something special. That has teetered off because he has suffered a horrific injury. I don't know if you remember that viral clip that ran horrible tackle on him. It still makes me feel sick every time I see it. And it's really knocked him back. But I think next season, and at the start of the season, he was doing really well. He was in the team, and then he suffered, I think it was an ankle injury or something like that, and he got him set back a little bit, and he's not getting in the squad now. But they're playing really well, and you can't really change a winning side that are pushing for playoffs. So, but I think this kid is more than good enough now with a full season under his belt at first team football. It's now or never for this kid to play at this club and to really progress his career. I would like to see Mavididi go. I prefer him on the left, cutting in, skillful, both-footed, can go on the outside or the inside.
Love you, Reese.
Cutting in on the inside or going on the outside. He's skillful enough. He's both-footed. I would love to see him on the left side with Mavididi and Mongo in that 10. I think them two would work a dream together, personally.
So, in League One, would you keep him?
100%. I'd keep him in both leagues. I'd start him in both leagues. I think he's ready now. He's ready.
I mean, it's a good point, Wayne. I mean, how long ago would we looked at some of these players and thought, what? You're saying let Mavididi go? Or you're saying let Fatawu go? Now we're saying make us the right offer because they're not the players that they were. Now, whether that's because they're different managers and the way they're being played, but I want to see these youngsters coming through, and I want to see them, having a go, and I think they will have a go. That's the thing. Yeah,
and Scott says I was his debut in the cup game under Rodgers, and me and Brian were at that game, and we were coming on. And Rodgers called him over and said, "Stop." and he was dribbling around Premier League. He was just making them look chumps.
Yes,
and we were
it
like,
was.
wow. And
Yeah,
Rogers called him over. He said, "Look, you better, if you don't stop that showboating, I'm dragging you off." Basically, but he took the piss. Some players like Jaden Joseph or Louis Page. I just watched Louis Page in the under-21s, and some players are just really confident in the middle of a load of other players. They don't get flustered. They look around to see they know what's going on. And Alves has definitely got that. He can turn on a sixpence. He's attack-minded, and I do think he could have had a place in our side this season and done something. It's something that Tom is absolutely foaming at the mouth about. Actually, he wanted Alves in the team. Yeah.
Just quickly, just on what Wayne's just said there, with what Rogers did to him. That is the problem at this club. That's the mentality problem at this fucking club. That we're saying, oh, stop doing that. The guy's having fun. When players are having fun, that's when they play at their best. Their confidence is high. They're playing the best football they can possibly play. That's when you need to stick them in. And and you're right, Wayne. He was absolutely taking the piss out of Watford that game. And just a quick word on that comment from Prashan. I can't pronounce it. Sorry,
Prashan, yeah.
Your name. Saw Will Alvarez playing in the Premier League. Reminded me of Harvey Barnes. I think he's more talented than Harvey Barnes. I really do. Both-footed, skillful. He has the full package, whereas Harvey Barnes was a bit one-footed for me. This guy's both-footed, and he's got the full package.
I've got to say that I was going to say something, and it's gone out of my mind now. But yeah, with the youngsters, you know, when you get older, you tend to think, "Oh, I better not do that because I might lose it." Well, with the youngsters, they'll go, "Do you know what? I'm just going to go for it, and if I lose it, I lose it." And the chances are 50% of the time they probably possibly won't lose it. So you've got that with the youngsters, haven't you? And look, if we get these players back, and I know it was only Cheltenham Town who were in League Two and you know, in the FA Cup, but there was quite a few youngsters in that starting lineup, and they looked so good together because they'd been used to playing with each other, you know, in the under-21s. So, you know, they were passing. A knew where B was going to be. B knew where C was going to be. You know, these days, you know, you can't, you know, a midfielder can't play a ball forward because one week it might be Fatawu, then it might be Monga, or they might have Dakoba Reed on the wing, and what they would normally be doing with one player, they're not. Oh, I'm going to have a rant in a minute. I'm going to have a rant, but Alves, calm down. Alves, keep on or loan out again, Wayne, in each division.
I'd say keep. He's one of those that he's not realised his potential through his injury, like Reece says, and I just think he deserves to go. He definitely deserves to go because he is a dangerous player. And it's like, who do we love? Who do Liverpool players love? Mo Salah. He's gone off the ball a bit. We love those players. That's why I want Monga to play as a 10. Get him in the 10 and see what he can do, because that will be carnage, basically.
So would you keep him in both divisions?
Yes, I would, yeah.
He has only played 10 games out of a possible 33 this season, which is about 12-13%. But he has scored a goal. So he's got that in him as well, obviously, as an attacking midfielder. And somebody's just said then, I think it was Scott, about, again, you're putting these players on the wing. To me, if you're an attacking midfielder, sticking you on the wing is kind of, it's almost like, neutering a dog. You know, he can run around, but he ain't going to do anything when he gets to the, to the female, to the bitch, if you like. So I just think play players in the role that their main role, and yeah, he could cover that side, but not to start off. Wayne, let's go. Sorry. Yeah.
So just one interesting point. Just early on when I was researching some of the young kids, I came across a Monga clip when we were playing West Ham in the under-21s. And he's got a goal and assist, and he's just taking the piss. And the West Ham commentator, he's filmed at West Ham, he says, in all the years coming down here, I've never seen a player with so much talent. And he was playing inside right, and he was just running straight through their defence. And he dribbled past three players and just put the ball, just brilliant. And so that's when you think that's what happens when you play the person, as you said, Chris, in the right position that they love to play.
The thing that got me with that clip, sorry, Chris, the thing that got me with that clip as well is how scaringly easy he made that look. He did that. He looked like he just walked through the park and just put it and slotted it under the keeper. He made that look so easy. It was frightening, sort of thing. But just going on what Scott said there, could you not have Monga left wing, Alves right wing, and Page Cam? I'd love to see all them three, but how much rotation play? One goes on the right, then they switch, and then they keep switching. That would cause mayhem. You've got three skillful players there. They would cause mayhem. If you keep switching it up and, like Monga goes right, then Monga goes left in middle and keep switching it up, that would cause absolute mayhem. Absolute mayhem.
Yeah. I've got to say, well played to both of you for getting Monga in a show that Monga's not included in. Well done.
Well, people in the chat did
Is
as
that
well.
good?
Yeah.
He's that good. He's that good.
No, I jest. When I do the show on Mongo, I'm not inviting Wayne on. He's going to be so annoyed.
Keep that shirt, Wayne. Keep that shirt, Wayne, because I'm telling you now, that lad will play for either Man City, Real Madrid, or PSG one day.
Yeah, he will.
I'm telling you now, he's that talented.
Yeah.
And they would coach him a hell of a lot better than we would at the moment. How are we doing for strikers, Reece, at our club?
Well, there is one coming through that I really, really like, and that is Lorenzo.
He's not up yet, but Chris Popoff. He popped off to Morecambe. He's 21 year old. Sorry. No, I'm an SC, aren't I? He's 21 year old. He's enjoying the nuclear power plant up there, I'm sure. Now again, centre forward, attacking midfielder, or left winger. How many people in the chat are going to say, "Oh, let's put him on the left wing"? We need these players for strikers. That said, he's played 14 out of a possible 14 games. So he's played every game that he's been able to. Now, are you ready for this, guys? And I know everyone's going to say, well, it's a different league, blah, blah, blah. Vardy was scoring in a different, he wasn't in the Championship. He was scoring in the conference. Look, 93% of his time, Reece, is in the starting 11. He's played 95% of the minutes he's able to. He's been involved. His goal participation is 42%. 14 appearances out of 14. And if you're ready for this, 7 goals, 4 assists. Now, it's 3 yellow cards. Now, different leagues, but if you know where the goal is, you know where the goal is. They don't move it because it's in different leagues. If you had Daka on a 1-to-1, 95% of the time he's going to miss it. If you've got Popov, even in the Championship, I don't think he'd be as bad as Daka if he had the opportunity.
Maybe not. We'll never know. But I get your point. It's a very low standard. This is the lowest standard we're talking about here, more, in the National League. But you can only play what's in front of you, of course. Yeah. I've never really seen him as an out-and-out striker, though. That's my only concern. In terms of striker, I've never known him as an out-and-out striker, like a Vardy, out-and-out striker sort of thing. But he's doing his job well. 7 goals. He's got a goal every 2 games. And he is getting assists as well. He's picked up a few yellow cards as well. So he likes to get stuck in as well. Wales under 21 international as well. We need to add that in as well. So, but no, he's got good potential, but I do think he needs to play at a higher level before he makes it into our team first. Especially if we're in the Championship, I think he'll need at least one more loan, maybe at a League One team. Right? You've done the National League. Now we're going to move you up to League One or so and so. So I think he needs one more loan before we push him in, really.
I mean, just looking I can't find Morecambe. Oh, well, yeah, Morecambe are 23rd
Yeah,
out
near the
of
bottom.
24.
But we've
But,
still got more points out of the last 6 games than we have, Chris.
well, yeah, exactly. But I can say, again, all right, I know we're not going to have Daka next season, and we're not going to have AU next season. Oh, well, fucking hell, what we're going to moan about? What are we going to moan about, Wayne? No Daka, no AU. We still got Bobby. So we're not exactly, they're not queuing up to take that number 9 spot, are they? But he scored one in, like Reece said, one in every 2. Just get him in and stick him on and say, go for it.
Do you know what? If you can score goal at that ratio, you can. I think you can step up. If you're scoring that regularly, you can step up at least 1 division, maybe 2.
Yes.
As Prashant says there, and I will still start before him. God,
Yeah.
ban Prashant from the job for saying that.
Don't start me on a rant, Prashant. Don't start me on a rant.
Yeah, but I do think that. I think when you're scoring that regular, I mean, those assists and goals, that is impressive. In any league, that strike rate is very impressive. And it's like that stat. I was chatting with somebody who goes season ticket holder and says, "Oh yeah, Matt Elliott. You seen the stat about Matt Elliott? So Matt Elliott, for his appearances, has scored more goals than Daka has, and he's a defender.
Probably more than him and AU put together.
I mean, we've been had such dire dross up front, and been setting, and we've been saying, "Oh yeah, but all Daka, he's just got to get one in off his shin, and then he was confident." No, he's not good enough. He can't control the ball. Anybody playing Sunday, Saturday part of football can control the ball better than Daka. It's just, to get paid that amount of money to be that bad is just not acceptable.
No. So, Reece, I'm guessing you're saying no for the Championship, but possibly yes for League One?
Yeah, if we're in League One, yes, I would have him in the squad 100%. But if we're in the Championship, one more loan at League One level, then let's see how he gets on. And if he does well there, then let's get him in.
Yeah. Wayne?
Reece will make a good manager, won't you? Say, look, I'm sending you on loan in it. And what you got to do, it's all there for you. You just got to take the opportunity. That's what Reece is saying. Because as Reece says about the age, these guys are sort of thinking, this is make or break for me here. And it is like, okay, so are you going to take the opportunity? So, I think League One, yes. Championship might be a bit of a step up. But it depends what state the squad's in, doesn't it? We might be desperate.
I just want to sort of sidetrack for a minute, and this is gonna drop a bomb in the chat. Who was that analyst for football, female, that was moaning about Ian Wright?
Eni Aluko.
Aluko, that's it. Yeah. I had Aluko, but I thought he plays for us. Aluko, but I wonder if she's got anything to say tonight, because we're watching the England men's team. And we've got the former manager of the Chelsea women's team and current USA team women's manager. Just saying, if you're watching Aluko, what's good for the goose, good for the gander. Is that the saying? I don't know if that's the saying or not, but I'm sorry. If you don't want men in women's commentating on women's games, how come women are commentating on men's games?
Oh, you are contentious, Chris. You love stirring the pot, don't you, Chris?
I'm happy for both, to be honest with you, because football, whether it's men's or women's, you don't do it differently, do you? You do it. It's exactly the same game, same rules.
I'm personally not. I think the men's game and the women's game are 2 completely different sports. Now, don't get me wrong. I think there are some fantastic women's teams in the game, but it's on a much more different sort of scale sort of thing. So I personally would say women stick to the women and men stick to the men.
I mean, I get that. And in fairness, that would make sense because they are commentating on the game that they know. But a right winger in the men's England team and a right winger in the England women's team pretty much has to do the same thing for the same position. But yeah, I'm just.
And Ian Wright really champions women's sport.
That's
Isn't
the
it?
thing, doesn't it?
He
I tell
loves
you
it,
what.
yeah.
Tell you what. I will watch England in the World Cup. I've got it on now tonight, but I wouldn't have been if I wasn't doing this show. I wouldn't have had it on. I wouldn't have been watching it because I can't be arsed with England's men until it gets to the thing. I'm surprised bloody Italy hadn't qualified automatically. I don't know what happened to them, but anyway, we're going off to get. Can I just say we have got coming up a daily World Cup show with myself and Craig from Up the Cherries in all departments. In fact. He'll be talking a lot, and I'll be saying 2 words if I can get them in. But
Is this coming from a pub somewhere, Chris? Is it?
well, it may do, but as it's a morning show, probably not. Right, well, let's get onto this now.
Oh, yes.
I'm going to hand this one over because I think that I am going to be on exactly the same page here as Reese. He's only 17. He's at Northampton Town. He's a centre forward, stroke left or right winger, which means that people are wanting to play on the wing. He was good enough to go to England with the under-17s World Cup squad, but he was not good enough to play for Leicester, apparently. Reese, is all yours.
Well, I'm just going to start this off by going to what his current manager, Mr. Kevin Nolan at Northampton, has said about this young lad. And he has compared this young lad to Wayne Rooney at the same age. And this is his quote. That's exactly what we thought when he came to train with us for the first time. He doesn't mess about, and he put a few lads, experienced lads, on their backsides. And I thought, yes, I like that. But he's a grounded kid, and we're lucky to have him. If he continues on his path and with his attitude, we will see him in the Premier League one day. I've got every faith in that. Now, if your current manager is comparing you to Wayne Rooney at that age, putting grown men on their arse, why the fuck are you not in the Championship squad? Because we know it's a physical league, and probably League One and League Two are more physical because the quality is lesser, let's just say, and they have to be a bit more physical. Now, if you're doing that in League Two, why the fuck are you not in the Championship squad? Put it that way. If you're doing that at 17, putting grown men on their arses, then for me, you're more than good enough and physically strong enough to be in this team. There's no doubt in my mind. I think the kid's very talented. Not as talented as maybe, say, of a Will Alvarez or a Mongo, but he's got that goal. He's got an eye for goal, and both-footed, more left-footed than right-footed, but he is both-footed. And I think this young lad, he has to be, and I don't care what anyone says, he has to be at least in the match day squad every single week. We've got to get this kid playing because he is a future England international.
I mean, yeah, what he said. Basically, again, we will not know until we actually see these players playing in the blue of Leicester. We won't know, whichever league we're in. But whatever the striker, whether it's Popoff, whether it's Evans, they can't be worse than the fucking shit that we've got up front at the moment, Wayne.
No, but I do. So when you look at the last, I mean, Northampton have only drawn 1 out of the last 6, so they are struggling as a team. They're in the one off on the bottom, and he hasn't scored in the last 10 games, and he's had a few like 4 minutes, 1 minute, 18 minutes, 21 minutes. So he's getting average scores of just over 6. So I do wonder why the last 2 managers haven't fancied Jake Evans. But I do look at it. Everything that Reece says, I do agree with. I think he's got big potential, Jake Evans. But it just kind of hasn't worked out for him. And that's why I wonder whether sometimes you're best to sell a player on and let them get the career going. And I mean, it's funny, isn't it? So he's playing for Northampton. He could end up playing for like Braybrook, go higher up and play for somebody in the playoffs and have a better season. Because it just seems, I don't know what's happening with Northampton at the minute, if they could go down. But yeah, it's just, I'm 50-50 with Jake Evans. I thought he got brilliant potential, but I think it's make or break for him.
Nah, I disagree, Wayne. I disagree. The kid. I get where you're coming from. I understand. The kid's 17. Popov Braybrook and Cartwright, they're all in their early 20s. It's kind of make or break for them. This kid's a child still, pretty much. He's not even an adult yet. So for him to be playing professional football at the age of 17 in a men's league and putting them on their arses in training, as what Kevin Nolan's saying, then you're on the right path straight away. You've got that physical attributes. And I think with the potential that he's got and the qualities that he's got already, in my opinion. And also, don't forget, playing Premier League football, coming off the bench in Premier League when Ruud was in charge. And from my understanding is that Ruud was very much looking to get this kid in the squad if he stayed manager in the Championship for this season. So I think that's how highly a world-class striker rated him in his day. So I think that says everything we need to know about the kid.
I think you've got to say, I mean, look, Kevin Nolan knows what he's talking about as much as any footballer does. He is a manager that's actually played the game at the highest level in the top division. And look, it's like Gary Rowett. I mean, nobody's going to argue, and despite the own goal and the penalty, that one of our best players this season has been Ben Nelson. And what did the manager of his loan club say about him?
Exactly the
He's
same.
too good for Leicester. He should, he's too good for them. And that's all you can go on. It's like a reference from your work, isn't it? So Reece, I mean, like I say, I'm just totally pissed off with this guy. Or even his best friend, of course, Jake Edwards, who's not doing so bad either.
I think in this season, we would have got more goals. We would have won games we've drawn, and we would have drawn games we've lost. I think in comparison to Dakar, swap them like that. My question is like what strikers will we get next season? Because we're not going to have these same strikers, are we? We're going to have a different striker setup.
I fucking hope not. I really do. If anybody doesn't realise, Jake Edwards is what I always used to call Jake Evans. I could never get his name right. Silly. So you're a yes, I'm guessing, for both leagues then, Reece?
Yes, but if the club decide to send him, if we're in the Championship, I'm not against the club sending him out to a topper League One club, like a Peterborough, that sort of ilk in League One, a Rotherham. I know they're in the relegate, but like a Rotherham or a Peterborough, I'm not against that. But as long as he's playing week in, week out, because he'll be 18 then, and that's still relatively young for the men's game especially in the Championship. So I think if we send him out on loan once more to a League One team, if we're in the Championship, I'm not against it, but I would love to keep him in both teams.
Wayne Rooney, just reading here, made his senior debut on the 17th of August in a 2-2 home draw against Tottenham Hotspur. I was reading that, hoping it was going to tell me what age he was, but it hasn't done.
He was training with Everton first team at the age of 14. That'll give you an idea.
Well, there you go.
14 years old.
I think physically, for his age, he's physically ready. Yeah.
Wayne?
Yeah, League One, I'm not so sure. Yeah, look, I don't think he'd do very well in this team, but like Monga's not doing very well. I just hope we have a different setup. I think if we had a different setup and get rid of older players, I would give him a chance. Yeah, although I've said that, I would give him a chance because I do think he's got the potential, along with your Page and your Jaden Josephs. Yeah, and Braybrook, I would like to give him a chance.
Wayne used to be indecisive, but now he's not so sure.
Yeah, but
so is that a yes for League One and a no for Championship, Wayne?
Yes, and a maybe.
We don't allow maybes. It's like you want fucking arms in the rating.
Off that fence, Wayne. Come on.
In the hope that we actually sign some decent strikers, I'd say yes, League One, no Championship.
Okay, no problem. He's wrong, Reece. He's wrong, isn't he? Didn't know much about this guy. Henry French, 20, Boston United, and he's a goalkeeper, which probably means somebody will say, play him on the right wing. You know what this club and these fans are like. Stick him on the right wing. Anybody know anything too much about this guy?
Go on, Wayne. I'll let you take this one.
Thank you. He did.
In other words, Reece doesn't.
In one of the pre-season friendlies, I think he did make a mistake that led to a goal. Actually,
No, that's the other keeper. That's the other keeper.
Bowser.
Yes, Bowser. That's it. Yeah.
Oh, okay. I do apologise for that. Yeah, I don't know a lot about him, to be honest, Chris. No, I don't. In fact, there's not a lot of information on him, to be honest. If you go on the internet.
And when I go on transfer market, they've got him still as being at Leicester. So I don't know if he's come. Oh no! Oh yeah.
I don't. It looks like he's not made any appearances for Boston. That's what it looks like on Who Scored.
Well, we'll move on.
I've got some stats here. He's played in the. He's played for the. Where was it? Where is it? Under 20. He's played. Yeah, he's played for the under 21s. He is at Boston now, as it says here. But in the under 20. In the under 21s in the Premier League too, he's made 8 appearances and he's kept 3 clean sheets. So there's a little something. And from what I can gather, he's very much a ball-playing goalkeeper. So he likes to, he's like a Mads Hermansen sort of goalkeeper who loves to play out from the back. So might be a lot.
It'll be first choice next season.
Yeah, it probably will be. But he's a 20 years old is a baby for a goal. He is a baby for a goalkeeper. Yeah. So he's got a lot of learning.
Sorry, mate.
No,
when did he get? What's the average age where a keeper actually nails down a first place spot? It's got to be 24, 25, 26, isn't it?
Let's have a look.
They are older, aren't they? They are older.
You don't see many young goalkeepers, number one goalkeeper in teams. I can't think of any really.
But they go on longer as well, don't they?
It's between 28 and 31.
Yeah.
Wow.
He is a baby. Yeah.
Wow. But yeah, like you say, they also go on longer as well. Now then, I need to type this guy's name in, and it hasn't got an easy one. But this guy is central midfield, defensive stroke attacking midfield. So you say on the box to box. Toby Onanaye, he's 19 years old, and he's at Kidderminster Harriers. Now, does anybody know about this guy? Help me out.
No, I don't, Chris.
Hang on, let me get his stats. Let me just get his stats up. I want to try and get so the viewers can. Well, I mean, Kidderminster is that in the Scottish League or is that?
No, that would be
Birmingham, aren't they? Kidderminster.
Yeah, I think it's the what do you call it? National League.
National League, yeah.
Well, 19 years old playing in the National League, it's not a bad thing, and he seems to be doing well there from what I'm reading here. He's
got dual citizenship, England and Nigeria. Not that I'm desperate to have something to say about him. There you go.
Yeah, so they're in the National League North.
Oh, is it? Oh, right. So it's quite a way down. I mean, to me, I don't think we probably will see this guy.
Not yet.
Not yet. He's 19. I mean, when you come to think, he's only 1 year younger than Alves, and yet he's sort of 4 divisions below.
Yeah. It's not amazing, but he is playing first team football, so I suppose that's one. And you've got to start somewhere. You've got to start somewhere, and. If he keeps doing what he's doing, from what I can see, he does like to get forward. He's more box to box, seems more of like an 8 sort of player from what I'm seeing here. But I don't know a lot about him. But if he's got the nous about him and he puts his mind to it, there's no reason why he can't push through. But 19 playing in the National League North, it's not great, but we'll see next season. We'll see.
Right, the last one, and you're going to spot the deliberate mistake here because I just have done. I didn't update the picture, but there you go. And the problem I've got with that is because I downloaded all the images to upload into the artwork, and I obviously was when I was sort of I'd do one and then I'd delete it on go and I'd upload all the next one. Do you have any idea what this guy fucking looks like? I mean, I could have put bloody Margaret Thatcher's up there, and who knows? I've never seen the guy. He's never played a game for Leicester City. He's 24 and still out on loan. Newport County, centre forward, attacking midfield. He is. I mean, look, we've just given him an extended contract. But I think that's the new guy that's come in saying, well, he ain't going for free. We've got too many of those. So, oh my God, can you imagine if he decides to do that with AU? This guy, I mean, we signed him, and before he'd even got his arse on, a seat at Seagrave, he was out in Belgium. He isn't going to make it at Leicester, is he, anybody?
No, not for me. 24 and you're playing League Two football, you should be in the first team by then. I don't think the club have helped his development either with some of his career choices where he's gone on loan. But, 25 appearances, 5 goals, 2 assists in League Two. It's not good enough, is it? I mean, this is going to be my first no of the night, I think. But look, sometimes it's just not meant to be. And, Wayne says the percentage of these players actually making it to the first team is very low anyway. So I think we're just going to have to cut our losses on this one, get a few 100K for him, make some money on PSR, and just say see you later sort of thing.
I mean, Wayne, look, I have a moan about American players, don't I? I know he's from Ghana.
Do you, Chris?
I do. I have the odd moan. I know he's from Ghana, but he came from America to us. What the hell were we doing fucking buying him? Because he's done nothing. Like I say, he may have pulled a blue shirt on in pre-season, but that's it.
Bit like Carranza then. Chris.
Yeah.
Basically.
Well, at least Carranza got on. At least he did put a blue shirt on and get on the pitch.
Yeah,
but, I mean,
Casey Keller, as Scott said.
Yeah, no, I'm not saying. I'm just saying. There's loads of them. Please don't start listing every single American player. I know there has, but we just don't. This is the one I base it on because this is the one that's come to Leicester. I know Casey Keller did as well.
It's like when it's like just because you got 50 to 75% of players leave the academy system before the age of 16. Only half to 1% of academy entrants become professional players in any league. That's not, in any league. So it's nice having like local lads that you can hopefully come through, but it is a rarity. And so some of these guys that are maybe out in League 1 or 2, that might be the level, or they might come a bit higher. But it's a shame. But this is the time period where. Come on, lads. Come on, lads.
I mean, 5 goals in 25, 1 in 5. Look, he can't. We've got a friend, Mike. He's a Newport County / Manchester United fan, and
of course he is.
Yeah, of course he is. Exactly.
Of course he is.
In fairness, he lives in Newport. Look, we have a laugh with him and a lot of banter with him. And he absolutely was singing Braybrook's praises at the end of last year. Didn't have a word to say about Opoku. So that kind of sums it up. That's it, guys. Thank you. Oh, I'm sorry. The Toby Onumeni, the one before last. I didn't make a note. Did either of you thought we should have kept him at all?
No, he needs a couple of loans. He needs a couple more loans.
Yeah.
But he has to. But for me, at the age he is now, he needs to have 2 outstanding loans before he gets anywhere near this team. And if they're not good enough, then we're going to have to sell him and make some money on him. So
Wayne?
No, unfortunately not. No. And some teams buy players just to, if they double in price, then you know what I mean.
Yeah,
that's the other thing about football. Football is, a lot of the big clubs, the players are just blocks and commodities. Yeah.
And then Opoku, are we even keeping him and loaning him out, or are we just letting just wait for an offer to come in and sell him?
Get rid. Just get some cash for him. Put it towards PSR. It's full profit. Thank you very much, but you're not good enough. This is a football club, not a nursery.
His current market value, 200,000.
Says it all, doesn't it? At the age of 24, 200k. Come on.
And his highest market value 2 years ago, 800,000. Don't think we paid that much for him. Gentlemen, we will be back. We'll be back doing some of the players like the Pages and the Mongers. Calm down, Wayne. And
on the Goldings, as Prashant said.
What about Paul? Yeah, well, he might be included as well. So we're looking at our youth player, although he's not come through our system, so probably wouldn't include him. But we'll be looking at them. Players that haven't gone out alone. Should they got more games? Will they get more games next season? So that's coming up. Reese, I know you got to shoot, so thank you very much. Wayne, thank you very much as well. And guys, like, share, click that notification bell, subscribe if you're new. If you're watching on mobile, when we come off, please do hype us. And if you're listening via your favourite podcast platform, thank you very much. And thanks for lending us your ears. Take care, guys. Speak to you soon. Enjoy England.
5, 4.
I don't play the going out the app one.
Thanks for watching. These videos are tremendous. You better like them too, or I'll be back.
This podcast is proud to be part of the TalkSport Fan Network.
TalkSport. Powered by fans.
That will conclude this evening's entertainment.